Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Trenny and Beer. No, what's it called? Beer Reviews with Trenny and C.
I thought you forgot my name for a second. You're like Trenny and huh?
I know it's Trenny and C, but there's the first part.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Beer Reviews with Trenny and C.
So you may be asking, hey, why is there a bottle of Dom Perignon on the table?
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Perignon? Nyon?
Dom Perignon?
Because we're reviewing Dom Perignon today.
Are we?
Duncan Dom.
Duncan Dom, here it is. Boom! The Duncan Dom, it's been nicknamed because it's like the king of, I guess
Of
this
Duncan
is a,
beer.
Yeah, there's a slogan already, the king of beers, but this is, in our mind, kind of the king of beers right now. Delicious stuff.
Yeah, so this is the Red Arrow old style lager from Red Arrow Brewing Company in beautiful Duncan, British Columbia, Canada.
Love it.
And now you may think, hey, this review must be brought to us by Red Arrow. Well, it's not.
It's not, but maybe it will be one day.
Yeah. We just happen to love Red Arrow beer.
Yeah, Red Arrow beer is some of the best on the market these days, and they keep coming out with really interesting products. They have their lineup of their Kolsch, which is delicious, their lager, they have their Midnight Umber, which is kind of like a darker one. They have their Sweet Leaf, which is their IPA.
Yeah.
And then they just keep coming out with tons of different ones.
Sorry, did you mention the stout?
The 1,000 Light Years Stout. Yeah, that's a seasonal one. So that comes out kind of around Christmas usually.
I had that one recently,
it's a double milk chocolate stout.
So good.
Yeah.
Should we get cracking?
Yeah, let's do it. So this is the, again, the old style lager. I mean, we in the past on these beer reviews have been saying, well, lagers don't really do much for us. And that is true for the most part.
For the most part.
However, when a lager is done really, really well, it is hands down some of the best beer out there.
Quiet on set.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah, so one of the things that I find to be a game changer with this lager is that I believe it says on here that it's unfiltered.
Yeah, well, it's minimal filtering. It's aged a little bit longer, which makes it kind of the old style, because lagers take a little bit longer to get better. Mm-hmm. Lager basically means longer, essentially. Right. And then this one, did you give me any beer? I just had. That's fine. Whoa.
I barely roughed that up. What? I barely roughed that up and it went to town.
Anyways.
Party foul.
The beer usually pours perfectly. It was in my car the whole way down here, so I'm guessing it probably got shaken around a little bit. But anyways, so this beer, light in color here.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. That's good.
I'll wait for mine.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait a while.
Should we just read something off the
Sure.
bottle?
It's light and golden color. You can kind of see if you focus in that it's all the beautiful bubbles popping up there from the bottom.
You can also see that it's a little bit murky too, though.
A little bit murky. Yes, it's nice. It's nice stuff. Oh, got lots on the table here.
It's okay. You can slurp it up this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it says right here, aged extra long for a clean, smooth taste, and it is 5% alcohol. And it says, time-honored tradition and patience, brewed with the finest ingredients we can get our hands on, this lager is aged for an extended time in horizontal tanks to ensure the smoothest taste and utmost clarity. All signs point towards a delicious taste experience. Well, nice. That is true. Now, the other interesting thing about this, and why I believe this to be one of the best lagers possibly ever, is the fact that my family is obsessed with a crappy beer known as Lucky Beer.
Right.
And, most of my family they just religiously drink Lucky Beer.
A lot of people do.
Not caring that it tastes like shit, but they just drink it. And, if you ask them why, I'd be like, well, it's delicious. Well, what do you like about it? Shut up.
It's refreshing.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, so it's like okay.
It's cold.
Great argument. So my dad was one of these Lucky Beer drinkers. I think he was kind of going along with the crowd.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a lot of people just buy something and then continue to buy it.
Right. And then you introduced me to the Red Arrow, and then I introduced him to it, and like within 2 beers, Lucky was out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Lucky had switched.
This is a game changer.
After like 20 years of drinking Lucky beer, he doesn't drink it anymore, and he tells me that it's boring.
Yeah,
Lucky beer is boring.
It's flavorless, basically. It's like water with beer flavoring.
I gotta drink some.
Okay, let's try some of this.
Thirsty.
It's nice and refreshing.
It's like an ice cream cone.
Wow. I love this one. The reason I love this one is because the beer flavors, or the lager flavors that you usually get, kind of like what you're talking about with the Lucky, it's kind of tinny, kind of watered down. This has like a nice biscuity kind of almost, and this may sound bad, but yeasty kind of flavor to it.
Yeah, almost a bit bready.
It's a little bready, and I really, really like that, and especially when it's light and crisp and super crushable for the summer. Yeah, really, really good.
And
love this one.
It is the fact that it's so flavorful that makes it so different. Like, I don't know. It's almost like, as far as a lager is concerned, they're always so generically light and generically clean almost. Like, this has a little bit of a chew to it.
A little bit of dirt.
As compared, it's a little dirty compared to a regular lager, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's really good. It's almost like when you step into a bakery and the bread is rising and you get that kind of yeasty dough bread flavor. That's what this kind of has to it. And I guess maybe that's why they call beer barley sandwiches, right? Because it's kind of like that. Yeah. But anyway, delicious, delicious beer. If you guys out there can get yourself some Red Arrow, any of their products, like really, really good. But the lager is especially delicious. And if you're going to buy one or buy none or buy a ton.
Okay, give us your rating.
I'm giving buy a ton.
Okay.
Always.
And my rating is because
we've already said it.
Well, your rating and my rating are because we actually have bought a ton. Like, as far as beer goes, every time I go into a liquor store, I'm like, do you have a Red Arrow? And they're like, yes or no, or whatever. But the point is, if I don't see it, I'm asking for it.
Yeah. So Red Arrow, the two that I buy the most are this one, the Sweet Leaf, which is the IPA, and then in third, I buy the Piggy, which is their pale ale. And their pale ale is delicious because it's that perfect balance between the light maltiness and a little bit of the hoppiness, and they really do it well. A couple things about Red Arrow. Red Arrow used to be a Harley Davidson custom motorcycle shop.
Yeah, it's got that kind of cool look to it. It's like a brick building, right?
Red brick building. It's really cool. Obviously, they have lots of good swag, so you can go to their website and buy their clothes.
It actually kind of looks almost like a fire hall too.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a fire hall for sure.
But yeah, so that's
and it's good vibes inside of there. A lot of good people work there,
and you can go there for tastings.
You can go for tastings. You can go there for a brewery tour. Yeah. You can talk to Julie Grimson, and she will set you up with the whole package. You can get the tasting with a brewery tour. You can also bring your beer outside into the little courtyard, and there's the Duncan is famous for its totem pole, so they got the totem pole. They have an amazing food truck.
I was gonna say,
some of the best food out there.
What's the food truck called?
It's called
is it just
Jake's on the Road?
Jake's on the Road.
Yeah.
So yeah, they kind of have it going on there.
Yeah, they're monopolizing the beer in Duncan for sure. Or it's starting to grow. Red Arrow is starting to grow, and hopefully they do really, really well because their products speak for itself.
It does, but don't forget about the yourself invented the Trenny beer.
Oh, I do have my Trenny specialty there.
Right.
What I like to do is maybe we'll do this one time.
Right.
Is we get the half, about that much of the lager,
right,
and then about the same amount or a little bit less of the Sweet Leaf IPA. And that is it almost behaves kind of like an ISA, where it's Indian Session Ale, where it's super easily drinkable and light, but it's got a little bit of those hops in there.
Hops to it,
and a little bit of kind of it's almost, I don't know, I don't want to call it soya saucy, but it has this salty deliciousness to it that I love. Yeah. Anyway.
Sometimes it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Well, this is Duncan Dom.
Duncan Dom.
A.K.A. the Red Arrow Old Style Lager. Delicious stuff. just in case we weren't clear about it, you're saying buy a ton, and I'm saying buy a ton.
Yeah,
right?
buy this stuff. If you can get it, buy it. Buy it up. I at one point, I bought a case of these big bottles, 12 big bottles, and I mean, that's like buying an expensive whiskey at that point, but you still get your fridge stocked with them.
Yeah, and like my dad, every time he passes through Duncan on the way up island, he stops at Red Arrow and buys at least 4 of them because they're a little harder to find in Victoria.
Yeah.
You can find them, but they usually sell out pretty fast too. So you're like, oh, do you guys carry Red Arrow? Yeah, we have it, but it's all sold out. It's like,
so we highly suggest, if you are from British Columbia,
track it down.
Track it down. Ask your liquor store or wherever you're from
to get
it and bring it in, because they will send it to you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, this was fun.
Cool.
And we're going to crush the rest of these beers.
All right.
Because it's hot in here. It's summer. And, one thing we should mention is that Trenny and C are also trying to make hats. We're trying to pre-order them, but we're trying to get them. One style that we have is this exact one here.
Mm-hmm.
But with our patch on it.
Yes.
So if you think that's a cool hat, send us an email to trennyandc@gmail.com and tell us that you want one.
Absolutely.
So it's exactly like this, but with
the Trenny and C logo.
Anyway, it'll be like down here on the thing or whatever.
We'll show it.
But you know our logo, whatever. This hat, our logo, whatever. Okay, great.
Okay, cheers, guys. Thank you for joining. Subscribe, check out our other channel, just Trenny and C. It's whiskey reviews.
Drink some Duncan Dom.
All right, cheers.